I asked you guys for a lot of feedback over the past couple of episodes, and boy did you deliver. Thank you for all of your continued comments, letting me know exactly what you would like me to do in this January transfer window. I shall ensure to endeavour to do absolutely as much of it as I possibly can. Thank you again for continuing to hit 3,000 likes on every single video so far. It was very close yesterday. As I record this, we're only about 30 above. So please do continue to hit the thumbs up button if you're enjoying this series. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're up 7,000 subscribers since the start of FIFA 21. I cannot thank you enough for your continued support on the channel. It's been the best start to a FIFA for about 3 or 4 years or so. So genuinely, thank you from right in there. Also, another big thank you actually to those of you that have joined the Patreon since the beginning of FIFA 21 as well. That support is very much appreciated. I can't thank you enough for going the extra step. It means a lot. So I'm going to jump in and try and get a signing done in today's episode. We're looking for a backup winger, of course. We've got 3 games today as well, including an FA Cup game away from home against Bournemouth and travelling down to Stamford Bridge too. But we start with West Brom at home. A game that we absolutely should be winning. But we thought the same against Sheffield United and Burnley. And we didn't win either of those. So, we'll wait and see. Sheffield United had only won 2 games when we played them and they beat me. So, stranger things have happened. But we should get a pretty straightforward victory here against West Bromwich Albion in the first game of the day. You guys asked me to keep Moise Kean even at the club. We will do so. He's going to stay. Robin Olsen was signed by Everton on transfer deadline day, and it's something that I would consider, but let's get the winger signing done first, and then the youth scout signings done, and then we'll look to maybe bring in Robin Olsen if we've got enough money after that. He shouldn't be too expensive. Still waiting on some scout reports on a number of young players, so won't make the signing just yet, but it will happen in today's episode. Obviously, Buendia is still here from previous. Ismail Assar was rather obviously a very popular suggestion in the comment section, having been relegated and being a good young talent and being as fast as he is as well. Pedri is a potential youngster to loan from Barcelona. Franco Cervi is a player we could buy or loan, probably buy from Benfica. Jared Deulofeu, as a former Everton player, was recommended as well. Another one at Watford, having just been relegated down to the Championship. He would be probably quite popular with Everton fans, I think, to bring back to the club. Other than, obviously, Ross Barkley and John Stones, who are players that absolutely would not be welcome back at the club, judging by the comment section of this save so far. Ryan Sessegnon is a potential loan option, but I'm not sure how good he might be. Obviously, it might be quite nice to have Everton at Everton, so maybe that's something we could consider as well, although he is quite pricey, and I'm not sure I'd have the money to be able to get that through. Although I am still looking to sell Balassi and Sandro as well, so maybe we could afford him if we could use one of those players as make-weight, or we get the sales done in the meantime. Miguel Almiron is a player that is very good for Newcastle and certainly could be what we're looking for here at Everton as well. Reece Nelson is a potential loan option. I might check and see how much first-team football he's been getting at Arsenal. Saka was mentioned a number of times in the comment section as well. That's not something I'm looking to do. Saka is basically a first-team starter at Arsenal of late, so I don't think that's one that we're going to go for. Well, Reece Nelson certainly could be. El Chucky Lozano was recommended and apparently was linked with Everton in real life throughout the course of the most recent transfer window due to him falling out of favour with Gennaro Gattuso at Napoli. I did sign him in a series in FIFA 20 though, and I might like to try someone else, but certainly a genuine option and someone that you know you're getting quality with. So he is on the list, and I will sign him if we aren't able to get a couple of others over the line. Maxwell Cornet was recommended as well. Youngster, well, it's not actually that young anymore, 24, at Lyon. Play on either side of the front three, and at left back as well, apparently, or left wing back at least, so intrigued by him. Kamaldeen Sulemana was on the shortlist, but I'm sorry, he's just not good enough, so I'm going to take him off. Pedro Neto, 74 rated at Wolves. We obviously had him on the shortlist anyway. Looks this would be a good backup option, which is kind of what we're going for, really. But maybe we could do with it, or maybe we'd ideally like a little bit more quality in the player. But certainly, is someone I want to try and sign at some point in FIFA 21 in some save. Saïd Benrahma is obviously very popular again. Good technically and really good on the ball with 85 dribbling too. So he might be absolutely ideal, really, coming up from the Championship. And then Christian Pavon was recommended as well. Obviously very fast. I don't know anything about his technical stats, so slightly apprehensive about him. And Diego Rossi, similarly, not sure what his technical stats look like, but we'll wait and see what the scout report says. A number of them are going to take 18 days from... Well, it's probably... I've advanced about 3 days, so it's probably going to be about 15 days from now. And there are less than 2 weeks left of the transfer window, about 10 days or so. So I might not get full scout reports back on some of them, but we should be able to get a good idea of some of their stats and certainly an idea of the valuation by the time we get to transfer deadline day at the latest. But we'll try and do as best we can in the games we're playing today. I want to go as far as possible in the FA Cup. The board would like me to get to the round of 16, I believe, was the objective in the FA Cup this season, or quarter-final. The quarter-final I want me to reach, and currently we're at the round of 32, so we need to win 2 more games in the FA Cup. Bournemouth certainly a side we should be beating, so we'll try and get 3 points in that one, and absolutely West Bromwich Albion are a side we should be beating, so let's go and beat them and take it from there. As ever, please drop the video a like if you're enjoying the series so far. Please subscribe to the channel too to ensure you don't miss out on any more. Make sure you hit that notification bell and set it to all notifications. Still only about 8% of you that have been subscribed to the channel. 15% are set to notifications, and only 8% of those 15% are set to all notifications. And only 55 to 60% of you that are watching the series are subscribed. So subscribe and hit that notification bell. Make sure you don't miss a video. Right, let's crack on, shall we? I'll be streaming later on this afternoon as well. Link in the description down below. We'll start with career mode, and then we'll move on to Ultimate Team as ever. But we'll crack on now. Let's go and play West Bromwich Albion and get 3 points in the Premier League, and hopefully a good victory too. Right, West Brom have got David Button in goal, Dara O'Shea, Ivanovic, Ajayi and Gibbs at the back, Livermore and Sam Field in the middle, Matt Phillips, Conor Gallagher, Callum Robertson and Zohor up top. Callum Robinson on the left-hand side will be dangerous. They've got Matthias Pereira on the bench. He's certainly a danger as well. West Brom are the lowest scoring side in the league thus far. 23 games played, 15 goals scored. So they'll probably get 3 against me now, because that's normally the way that my luck goes in FIFA. Certainly I haven't started off well enough with my passing there. And hopefully they don't punish me for that. Trying to get stepped in, and we've done well. And Gabaman will get that out wide there to Wilfred Zaha. His number has stayed at number 10. There was some calls to give James the number 10 and move Zaha to 14. And it's something I will consider for next season. But seeing as James has the 19 in real life, I'll keep James with a 19 here. And actually, I do need to change Ben Godfrey's number. He's come in and I think is number 3. And I believe in real life his number is number 22. So I'll add his real life Everton number to his shirt in the save now. It's something that slipped my mind on the way into this game. There's actually one thing I want to mention here as well. There's been some feedback in the comment section about the colour of the pitch. Now, I believe, I can't do it from this menu, I believe there is a pitch colour option in the main menu game settings on the match settings. So I will have a look at that after this game and see if I can change the colour of the pitch. I saw an option like that in the early beta build we got, and I wasn't able to find it in this build. I will have another look, and I believe there is the option to change the pitch colour in the main settings. So there was it's been a regular feature in the comment section of you guys bringing that up, both in comment sections and on Twitter as well. I believe there is a pitch colour changing feature in the main menu match settings, and I will go and have a look for it, and if I can find it, I'll show you exactly where it is after this game. And also, I'll make my pitch slightly more green and slightly less grey, which has been the main feedback and the main issue that you guys have brought to my attention so far in the comment section and on social media as well. So I wanted to make sure that I acknowledge as much of the feedback as I possibly can from you guys, and when I hear stuff back from the devs or other people in the Game Changers program that have had similar issues and or found solutions to them, then I'll pass that feedback back to you as well. Your constant feedback is very much appreciated and being listened to by EA as well. So if you do have anything that you find with the game, either yourselves from playing it or from watching my content, that you think should be brought up or you think is an issue and should be addressed by EA, do let me know, and I am able to pass the feedback directly back to the developers. So keep that feedback coming in the comment section, and I'll continue to pass it on, and when I hear stuff back, I can relay that back to you, and you get word directly from the developers themselves, through myself and a couple of others in the Game Changers program, and you know exactly what's going on with the game, what's coming, what's not coming, what they're aware of, what they're not aware of, what they're working on, etc. And your feedback is genuinely vital in the improvement of the game. And you've seen from the way that all of the new features have been coming to the game this year, that over the past couple of years, everything that we've been saying to them is being taken on board and is being worked on. And if it can't be developed for the actual game cycle itself that we're in, then it's certainly going to be taken on board for the next one or the one after that. I know it's slightly a longer process than some might like, and in some occasions, we hope that things are taken on board in the same cycle as they're brought up, but sometimes it's just not possible. But believe me when I say everything we say is listened to, and if it can be implemented as soon as possible, it is. If it's not able to be implemented ASAP, then it is being worked on for future titles. Your feedback has been crucial over the past couple of years, and especially since the inception of the Game Changers program and us getting hands-on and the ears of the developers themselves. It really is making a difference. I know I've been waffling on for a little bit here now, so I apologise for that. We have been able to create some opportunities in that little waffly spell, so hopefully we can get ourselves a goal sooner rather than later. Hammers is arriving in support here, but Branislav Ivanovic gets a good interception in, and after half an hour, we'll stay at 0-0. Digne into Decore. I actually get that to Alan rather than James. A bit more space to run into, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin's made a great run, and I could have maybe tried to get that back to Alan, who made a good secondary run, but I wasn't able to turn Branislav Ivanovic. Frustrating game here against West Brom, to be fair. We've had a couple of chances in that opening segment where I was telling you about all of the feedback, etc., and how it's been implemented, but side netting only on a couple of occasions, and I wasn't able to actually get the ball in the back of the net, and I haven't since actually had a proper chance. James could feed Calvert-Lewin in, but again, Ivanovic in the way. It looks like it's going to be a frustrating 0-0 first half here against West Brom. They've done nothing offensively and are yet to have a chance, I believe. But that's not too much of a surprise given their form so far this season. Our creativity has been there. Our ability to actually turn those chances into even on-target chances, not quite there yet. That's 4 shots, 2 on target, 2 off target, and nothing yet for West Brom. Perhaps a 1-0 win incoming? We'll wait and see. Here's Field. In there to Zohor. Give me that back, please. I tried with Mason the whole game. Not worked well. Sam Gallagher. Oh, committed to a challenge there, and thankfully able to deal with it. Thank you for your feedback with regards to the captain's armband, by the way. You've requested that Luca Digne have it moving forward, so that's something I'll do. It's something I forgot to do coming into this game, but it's something I've remembered halfway through that that's what you asked for. So I will implement that for the next game. Get that across to Decore quickly to James. Allen is arriving. Hit it first time. What a block by Ajayi. Desperate defending by West Brom, but effective defending too. Still, we wait that first goal. Personnel change for them and a couple of changes to try and keep me out. Now they've brought Pereira on. They're looking to perhaps try and work the chances to win. But Allen could set James up to give us the chance to win ourselves. And Ivanovic with the save. Lovely footwork from Zaha. He's worked the space. Well, another block from Branislav. Still, it won't go in. I'm going to make a change myself. Let's move Zaha central. And let's bring Iwobi on out wide, actually. No. Bernard for that extra little bit of pace. Bernard out wide. Sorry, James. Your stamina just letting you down a little bit still. And he's not been that creative in this game, actually, James. Despite being my most creative player so far this season with a number of assists. Drop that to Digne, get it back on his left if we can. Set it up for the cross. It's whipped well. Decore's underneath it. Oh! There's the moment of quality we've been waiting for. Abdoulaye Decore with a power header into the back of the net. Finally, we make the breakthrough, and a goal of that quality is what we've been waiting for. Not scored many headers this year. Certainly not like that. Took a little while for Digne to get it back under control, but the quality of his cross was unbelievable, and the header matched it too. Accurate, into the corner, powerful, out of the way of the keeper, no chance for him. Brilliant from Abdoulaye Decore. Exactly what we needed when we needed it. With just 13 minutes to go, we do have our 1-0 lead now, and you imagine with the season they're having, that will knock all of the fight out of West Bromwich Albion, and we should see this through now. Doucouré. Oh, that's nicely done. Very nicely done. Zaha could get that back to Doucouré, perhaps. I tried. Oh, nearly got in the way of that as well, Wilfred. Alan. Have we knocked the stuffing out of them so much so that they're going to fumble? Fumble? Crumble and fold is what I was... No fumbling involved unless the keeper drops something. Been a slight bit of fumbling with Jordan Pickford so far this season in real life, but something that we haven't thankfully had to deal with in this save so far. He's made a couple of mistakes here and there, but he's been generally pretty solid, Jordan Pickford. And whilst it would be nice to match the signing of Robin Olsen, we do have some backup goalkeepers at the club, and it's not a signing I'm desperate to make. Oh, when that header, Richarlison's up. Desperately unlucky. Wow, Calvert-Lewin, how has he not made that 2-0 there? Oh, so close, yet so far. But the 3 points are most important at this stage. We do have a decent goal difference already. They've made another change to bring Edouard on. But too little, too late, I think, for them. And the fact that they're going backwards there when trying to build and are being slightly too patient with it means that the time is going to run out on them, I think. Referee. Okay, or not. Ah, yes, there we go. Good. 3 points against West Brom. All in all, a good performance. Created a number of chances. Just wasn't quite able to tuck as many of them away as I might have liked. But a dominant display and a deserved 3 points in the end. City dropped points as well against Sheffield United. That's big for the title race. Liverpool win by 2-0. Didn't quite glance to see who else got what results with regards to the sides that are around us. Pushing for the European spots. We'll wait and see as we come back after the Bournemouth game. Let me go and see if I can find that setting for the pitch colour. It's not here in the match settings there. I believe someone mentioned that it might be in the match settings here once we get into this next screen. If I go customize and I'm on game settings and then match, if I scroll, okay, it's not there here. Let me try and find it. So I found the setting, but it's only an option here on the match menu in kickoff. Like outside of career mode. So I don't know if I change this, if that will actually have an effect in career mode as well. I presume not, but I'll see. I'll make it a bit darker and see if that actually makes any difference in career mode. So I'm going to jump back into the Everton save now, and we'll go and play Bournemouth and see what the pitch looks like. I have asked in the Game Changers program literally 30 seconds ago if we could have that feature available in career mode. I'm waiting to see if they'll confirm either way whether we'll get it or whether we won't get it, or whether it takes effect in career mode. I mean, we'll find out now whether it takes effect in career mode or not, I suppose. Alex Iwobi wants to play, and certainly you will do, Alex. I'm going to rotate the side for this game against Bournemouth in the FA Cup, give those fringe players another opportunity to play. So I'll go into the team management screen and do that now. And the guy that you asked to keep at the club and not to loan out, Moise Kean, will start and lead the line. And also I need to go and do Ben Godfrey's shirt number as well, so let me do that first. Bournemouth starting lineup. Begovic in goal for them. It looks like a relatively strong side. Steve Cook with the captain's armband. Chris Mepham there at the back as well. Adam Smith at right back. Diego Rico at left back. 5 in midfield with Njoli up top. David Brooks on the right, Danu Magrunoveld out wide, Philip Billing in the middle, as well as Dan Gosling too, sat holding, more of a 4-5-1 than a 4-1-4-1. Gosling sat slightly further forward than Calvin Phillips was for Leeds. And my lineup is completely changed other than Jordan Pickford in goal. Seamus Coleman back to the starting lineup and back with the captain's armband. Keane, Godfrey, Montiel, Davis, Gomez, Iwobi, Balassi, Keane, Bernard. And I did change that pitch setting in the kickoff menus, as you saw, but evidently it hasn't taken effect in career mode. So I have asked in the Game Changers program to the developers, can we please have that option available in career mode? Because that's something that you guys have been mentioning a lot about the colour of the pitch. So hopefully we can hear back from the devs soon, and hopefully it will be a positive response in that, yes, we can have that option sooner rather than later in career mode. But once I hear something, I will let you know. And hopefully, the next time you hear from me, it'll be because Everton are scoring a goal. Not Bournemouth, although Philip Billing has just walked around me there, and it might be Bournemouth scoring a goal. Oh my God, it's Bournemouth hit the post. Oh, and Njoli offside. It very nearly was Bournemouth scoring a goal. Once again, I'm actually going to get that all the way out wide to Yannick Blassie. Seamus Coleman going to go on the overlap. Yes, he is, and it's a good run too. Seamus could whip this towards the back post, and he has done really well, and Steve Cook flicks it away with an Everton player waiting at the back post to try and turn that home. Once here, we'll get a quick throw in here to Bernard, and we'll try and work something quickly again. Keane out of his feet, looking to catch. Oh, the keeper out, and he had him scrambling, but it just didn't quite turn enough. Lovely drop of the shoulder and took the shot early, and I don't think he could have come much closer without scoring. Here's Brooks. Good footwork to keep that in. Montiel puts a foot in but can't get it away from him. Here's Offerball and Njoli, and he's got the runner there of Dan Gosling. Don't foul him. He's going to give the pen. I thought I got something on the ball there, but the referee has pointed to the spot. Michael Keane gets a talking to only, not a card of any description. I'd like to have another look at that. Did I get any of the ball? I mean, I certainly did. Might have been ball and man at the same time. I got something on the ball. Questionable. That penalty decision, questionable. David Brooks steps up and... scores! Keeper goes the right way and very nearly got an arm up to it. Pickford might find himself slightly disappointed there not to have gotten anything on it. Just noticed the Bournemouth don't have a sponsor on their shirt. What's this? I'm not sure what their sponsor is in real life, Bournemouth. That's odd. Regardless. Oh, he just couldn't quite get his arms up to it, could he, Pickford? So close. Good pen in towards the roof of the net and, painstakingly close. Very nearly, but not quite. It's 1-0 Bournemouth. Davies intercepted that nicely. Coleman to Bolasie. Go to Iwobi first, and hopefully Moyes makes me a decent run, which he's done. Oh, the touch is excellent. And the obvious pass is Iwobi. And Alex Iwobi has 4 in 4. Moise Keane with great vision. Great run to start with, and then the touch to burst past the defender. And Alex Iwobi showing the attacking intelligence to get himself into the box. The give and go. He gave the ball, and then he went. Great touch from Moise Keane. From there, I could have shot, but it was always heavily in Asmir Begovic's favour if I had have done. Iwobi, right place, right time, tucks it home. Sorry, Asmir. Bournemouth were 1-0 up for, well, not very long at all, as it happens. And we're level again. Brooks. Trying to force him backwards here if we can, but they're building well here, Bournemouth. I don't like this. Gosling back to offer ball. This is good football. Pulling me left, right, and all over the field. But thankfully, eventually, a misplaced pass gives possession away. Moise Keane will just give that little flick there to Tom Davies, who could drive into this space. And then Yannick Bolasie has got some space to get into himself, but his touch kind of slowed that up. I see Bernard. Can Davies find him? Yes, he can. Lovely ball. Bernard! Oh, post and wide. So much space for him on that left-hand side. And the ball so very nearly, finding that bottom corner. We've come close. It's the closest either side have come to getting a second goal in this game. But as things stand, we're headed to a replay in the FA Cup. Win that header, please. Well up, Andre Gomez. Iwobi. Bernard is going to go again. Moise Keane slightly less inclined to make a good forward run on this occasion. And Tom Davies' pass is picked off well by Rico. Both sides still holding firm. And actually, now they're in behind me here, and I don't like this. Billing, thankfully, Seamus Coleman's been able to get back into position. Lovely flick by Billing, though. And Joy, giving the ball away. Putting the pressure on, though, Bournemouth. A couple of times I've had the ball in defence. I've looked to play the ball into midfield, and a deep defender has pushed forward and closed the man down in midfield before I've had the opportunity to play the pass. Andre Gomez, I see actually Moise Keane pushing, and Iwobi could be played in. Is he going to find another assist here, Moise Keane? Oh, no, maybe not. To Tom Davies, at your feet. Here's Bolasie. Oh, struck well, forcing the save, but not able to give ourselves a second goal here. But Iwobi could get that to Moise Keane, who's held off the defender, and he will give us the lead. A mistake from Bournemouth at the back, and we have ourselves the advantage in the FA Cup tie down on the south coast. The young Italian at it again, and that's exactly the reason why you guys wanted him to stay and not go out on loan. A poor clearance. Iwobi returning the favour to the man that set him up for his goal. We have 2, and we're in front. Davies. Pressing again, Bournemouth here. You can see Phil Billing coming forward and actually getting good step in there. Daniel McGrinovel with a woeful pass. Here's Andre Gomez. And again, they're going to press in midfield and try and close me down. But by doing so, it does open space up elsewhere. And we'll look for Bernard here. The pass is poor. It's forced Bernard a little bit too far wide. The cross to the back post is decent though. Davis underneath it. I tried to just nod that down to a teammate. I didn't think he'd be able to score from that angle. As it happens, I might well have been able to tuck that home there. The keeper wasn't able to defend the near post as well as I thought he might do. And if I'd elected to shoot with Tom Davies as header there, I might have been able to make it 3-1 and see this game done and dusted. As it happens, it's still just 2-1, but there are barely minutes remaining. 2 minutes of stoppage time, basically, to be exact. And Jolie on the attack here. Good footwork. Ben Godfrey almost earning his price tag with just that one tackle there to send us through to the next round, the FA Cup. Just holding the ball up. Bernard again running and going offside. Just wasting time. We get the victory. We are through to the round of 16 of the FA Cup. Who we shall face, we'll find out in due course. Back to the transfer window now. Still trying to maybe get an extra sale or two through if we can, to raise just a little bit more money to maybe be able to afford the slightly more expensive options on our shortlist. Still waiting for a couple of scout reports as well. But we've the game against Chelsea to come at the weekend now. And we beat them last time we played them, I believe, didn't we? And we absolutely need to ensure that we beat them this time to keep up our push to stay above them at least. Oh, it was a 2-2 draw against Chelsea last time. We are 7th in the table thanks to the win in the league. In the first game of the episode, we are 3 points from 5th, 8 points now from the top 4, but the board do only want Europa League football from us this season, and we're not having a bad year. 13 wins, 5 draws, 6 defeats is a very solid season so far in year 1. Chelsea struggling, losing too many games evidently is their problem, and they actually, if they beat me, unless they beat me by a decent margin, they won't go above us because of goal difference, but obviously, we want to stay above them. We want to close the gap to those above. Crystal Palace a long way behind in 9th. So it's definitely kind of the top 4, then the next 4, and then a gap to those in the bottom half. And West Brom still a long way off the pace. And I think they're doomed already. But the relegation battle is basically anyone from maybe Brighton down for the next 10 or so games in the Premier League window before the picture really opens itself up. But great performance from Alex Iwobi to give ourselves a rite of passage through to the next round of the FA Cup. And up next for us will be Chelsea in a week's time. Oh, but I've had a transfer offer for Sandro from Brighton, which is exactly what I was after. And just to ensure that we get the sale done, I will accept it straight off the bat. About 4.5 of that we might see in the transfer budget. That can make the difference for us when trying to buy that new winger. Confirmation that Sandro has gone. £4.2 million added to the budget. But a scout report come back on Miguel Almiron. And there's been an offer for a 2-year loan deal for João Virginia, which I am actually open to. There's been a loan to buy earlier on that I rejected from Metz even. I'll say Torino for a minute. But we've accepted that. And they're going to see if he accepts a loan deal to go there. We'll wait and see. Miguel Almiron, let's have a look at this scout report. How good is he going to be? 78 rated, quick, decent technical stats. Not spectacular, but we aren't looking for a spectacular player, are we? We're looking for a backup, but I think perhaps we'd like someone slightly younger. Miguel Almiron isn't as young as he used to be. Well, none of us are as young as we used to be, but you know what I mean. He's not as young as some of the other options I've got here on my shortlist. 78 rated at 26 years of age. Still waiting for scout reports back on a number of players. Sessegnon, I'm not sure if he's going to be good enough, really. So I'm going to take him off. Still waiting on a scout report on Olsen. Pedri, his pace looks decent. His physical stats look okay. Technically, though, he's not there. So I'm going to remove him as well. Chervi, physically, already know he's going to be very good. And technically, certainly better than some of the other players we've removed already. Zaracho, an option, certainly. Although, just noticed he's now gone to Betis. So, no, not an option. Everton is obviously very, very good as well. I'm slightly leaning towards him. More for just the fact that he's called Everton than anything else. But he does actually look like a very, very good player. So, we'll keep an eye on him. Although he is more of an expensive player. But I could, with low wages, could certainly nudge some of my budget back into the transfer from the wage part of it. Maxwell Cornet is intriguing me as well. He's got good stamina too. 4-star weak foot. High work rates. Technically not that spectacular though. That's a shame. Sulemana will take off the list as well. And yeah, no, not Reece Nelson says. Oh, accidentally pressed Y on the wrong person, or triangle even. So I'll add Reece Nelson back to the list. Pavon, potentially. Long shots and shot power look good. Short pass could be decent. Diego Rossi, physically good, technically getting there, but I think I've got better options. Benrahma was a popular option from you guys as well at 25. I don't know how well he's going to grow. I think because they're going to be a backup player. I could still try and bring Dale Lefeu back. Ismail Assar, though, is 22 and he's going to grow well and is already pretty capable, but he is expensive again. Let's try and get Ismail Assar in. He was a very popular option, and obviously with Watford having been relegated, it would be, you know, a deal that you could see going through. We should have about 40 million to spend currently. I will actually offer a player in swap. Who was it that I had on my short? It was Yannick Bolasie, wasn't it? That no one has shown any interest in so far. So Yannick Bolasie plus 30 million. They might just sack Bolasie off altogether, and they have done. They want 45.8. I can afford that, but it would be all of my budget, and I am hoping to put some money into youth scouts at the end of the season as well if we can. They seem rather adamant that they want that 45.8 million pounds, and I'd rather save some money if I can. I don't want to pay 48. I don't really want to pay any more than about 44 was about to be the next figure out of my mouth. I'll say I don't really want to pay any more than about 44. If they'll accept 41, that'd be great. 43.2, they're coming down. We're having to negotiate hard, but it's for the betterment of our youth system that we do. And they will accept 42. Negotiating very hard there, Watford, but they were open to long negotiations, which has worked in our favour. He's only on 18.5 grand a week, Ismail Assar, as well. And I could offer him 30 to 35,000 perhaps, and he'd probably be willing to sign for that. And I imagine, yes, he wouldn't be wanting too much of a squad role either, because he's only 79 rated, which is exactly what will help us get him on slightly cheaper wages as well. Disregard the release clause. Oh, 57 grand is a bit punchy. I'll give him less of a signing on bonus, 300 grand, and we'll lower the wages slightly. I didn't really want to offer him quite this much money, but I think we might have to wait for youth scouts till next season. They've lowered the appearances bonus as well. I'll offer him 50 grand plus that. I think we might have to wait for youth scouts. They seem adamant that they want 57. I mean, I want the deal. Getting Ismail Assar in is more important than all of the youngsters at the minute. I'm definitely not going to have enough money now for Robin Olsen, unfortunately. But there we go. We have our new young winger in. And certainly, Ismail Assar will make a big impact in the squad, not just in these early stages of the season, but most certainly moving forward as well, long term. Ismail Assar is a player that is going to be in and around the squad for hopefully quite a while. Certainly going to play a big role in impacting the game off the bench before he's potentially considered for a first team spot. How old is Zaha now? He's not in his early 20s anymore, is he? I think he's slightly older now. How old are you, Wilfred? 28. Wow, Zaha's a lot older than I thought. Bernard is 28 as well. Yeah, I think that's a good deal. I'm quite happy with that. Hopefully you guys are pleased with that signing as well. Certainly was a very popular option. So, and mentioned a number of times by a number of different people. So hopefully you got on board with that signing. How much money have I got left? If I transfer that all into my transfer budget, I should have enough. Yeah, certainly should have enough for a youth scout. A youth scout. We have one. We should have one already there. And we do. Isaac Jennings. So I should be able to hire someone else. And I can afford a 4-star in Jensen Fox as well. So let's do that. And have I got enough for a third? 1.2 million. Not quite. Not quite. But having two is certainly an improvement. So let's send them to England for 9 months looking for any player. And someone did actually give me an idea in the comment section of what to do with my youth scouts. It was any player in England, Spain technical players, and Croatia actually for physical players. So we'll send this guy to Spain looking for technically gifted players, Jensen Fox, and then if I'm able to raise the funds for a third scout, then I'll send him to Croatia looking for physically strong players. And we'd have to sell Yannick Bolasie to be able to afford that, but Yannick Bolasie is a player we want to move on. So hopefully we can get some interest in him before the end of the window, although there is only 2 days left of the window, so it would have to happen rather sharpish. But Chelsea look very strong. Daniele Rugani in their starting lineup at the back, and Bashish, the left back, who had a nice team of the season last year on Ultimate Team. At left back. Let's see what we can do then. Away from home at Stamford Bridge. A 2-2 draw at Goodison Park earlier in the season. But we want to close the gap on those European spots. I might be able to get European football via an FA Cup win, but I'd love to secure it via a league win or league position first, just so it takes the pressure off. Here is Chelsea's lineup. Is it going to look the same as it did in that pre-match menu? Kepa, Azpilicueta, Tomori, Rugani, Bashish, Mateo Kovacic and N'Golo Kante, Victor Moses, Ziyech and Pulisic with Werner up top. Yes, very similar. Who's on the bench for them? Thiago Silva, Kai Havertz, Jamie Vardy, Ben Chilwell, Olivier Giroud, Ross Barkley. Surprised to see Victor Moses in the starting lineup. Very surprised, to be honest. But we'll see what he can do. And the rest of the team is very strong. Nice ball out wide there to Christian Pulisic. Chelsea absolutely underperforming so far this season, sitting down in 8th. Expect them to be much higher than that and challenging for the top 4. And they were earlier in the season, but a real dip in form since October-ish. And they just haven't recovered since then. We've been playing some good football recently. But Chelsea are always going to be a test with the team that they've got here. Zaha with the turn. I see Alan there on the edge of the box. If I can get it out of his feet. Into Dominic Calvert-Lewin's turn well, but Rugani with great acceleration to read the turn and step in front. Holgate with good positioning there to get in front of Timo Werner and win that. James into Calvert-Lewin. He's past the defender this time. And you know, if given the chance and the space, he'll tuck it away. And that wasn't even tucked. That was smacked right into the top left-hand corner. Dominic Calvert-Lewin still wants this golden boot in the Premier League. And we still want European football through a Premier League finish as well. Great touch to burst past Tomori and devastating finish. We lead at Stamford Bridge. To Mateo Kovacic. We yet to see Ziyech in a Chelsea shirt in real life. In a competitive fixture. Looking forward to seeing him play for Chelsea, to be honest. Great to see another quality player in the Premier League. Hopefully he keeps himself quiet in this game. Doucouré still indebted to him for that header against West Brom. And I'm going to try and isolate Aspi, really, for a lack of pace at right back. And the fact that he loves to get forward as well. Zaha should, if I play the right way, Zaha should have a bit of a field day at left wing against the Spaniard. I'll try and get him in behind here. And Aspi's not going to be able to keep up with me. And this is exactly what I was trying to do. Try and stand the ball into the middle. James is there. He's won the header against N'Golo Kante. But he can't keep it down. Over the bar it goes. See, oh, hello. Cheeky little fake Rabona in the middle of the pitch. Not particularly well advised, but it worked. So, for the time being, fair play. Timo's gone away from me there. Twice. Oh, and he's going to look for Pulisic, who's going to have the pace to get to it. Chelsea are level. It was well worked. Timo Werner doing all of the business in the middle of the park and setting up this American left winger who buries it. Just that little bit more acceleration. He had John Kenny had the position initially, and then it's just you can't cope with raw pace like that. Always the favourite to get to the ball once it was played. And to be fair, on his left foot, it's a really good finish from Christian Pulisic. Chelsea back level. And we're back where we started. Let's go again. Let's get that lead back. Richarlison. That back to James. Chased. Absolutely hounded by N'Golo Kante there at the beginning of the half. I haven't really been able to isolate Azpilicueta as much as I might like to have done in this game so far. His positional sense is just so good that he's always in the right place at the right time to deal with anything that Wilfried Zaha throws at him. I might double down on it in this second half and try and push a lot of my play down the left rather than trying to balance it, as I have done in this first 45 minutes. Toni Kroos has moved to Liverpool. That's a new move that certainly hadn't gone through prior to the game against Bournemouth. So in the past few days, that move has come about. Toni Kroos in the Premier League. Some other big deals that went through as well. Right now, Aspi has finally been drawn out of position, and Zaha has the space to try and isolate this backline here. And I'll turn, and there, no! It was James Rodriguez just waiting to tuck that home. Everything but the final product in this game, outside of our 1 goal so far. Really struggling to get a second goal against Chelsea. Hopefully it comes. Hopefully it comes. And I was just destroyed in the middle by N'Golo Kante. I can't seem to deal with him whatsoever. John Kenny trying to chuck that back to Richarlison, who has scored a couple of good goals on his left foot so far this season. Ziyech going off for them here. And I think it was Jamie Vardy, yes, coming on for them. Try and nip this to the near post. If Calvert-Lewin can get a jump on Regani, which he hasn't been able to do. Couldn't quite keep that in with Digne there, which was what I was hoping to do. Alan, back to James. You see the run being made at the back post by Doucouré. Can he do it again? Calvert-Lewin, it's going to fall to Doucouré. And Zaha, I'm pretty sure, was offside there, and I couldn't change player. He was. I mean, a point against Chelsea isn't bad, but I really want this win. I'm glad they've taken Werner off, but to have replaced him with a player that's pretty much just as quick doesn't make things any easier up top. Jamie Vardy is such a deadly finisher, given the chance. Oh, he scored twice against us for Leicester on the opening day, didn't he? At the beginning of the season. I don't recall him scoring against me for Chelsea in the 2-2 draw at the beginning of the year against them there. Terrible pass by Allen, trying to feed that through the gap. Kai Havertz off the bench now for them too. And again, Christian Pulisic finds the space. And Jamie Vardy is in. Has support arriving, but it's taken a little bit too long perhaps to get the shot away. Has done so. And Gabama does just enough defensively to win that back. Right, get that to Calvert-Lewin. Can we go again with Zaha? Maybe, but not yet. Just not had the space in the final third that I need yet. Looking for Allen again. And he's gotten to it. Get there, Allen. Go on. Stand it up towards the back post. And Zaha! Aspi's dealt with Zaha. He's had him in his back pocket. That one opportunity to get in behind that I wasn't able to put away with James. And that's it. I've tried my best to isolate the lack of pace on their right-hand side of defence. And it just hasn't worked. It really just hasn't worked. Ismail Assar might be able to do something slightly faster than Zaha, but I'll try. Although he's not going to have much time to try and do something, but he might need to if Chelsea take the lead here. Havertz hounded and tackled well by Mason Holgate. We've been solid enough defensively, but not good enough going forward. I'll lift this looking for Richarlison. I might have overplayed that. I have. Time for Ismail Assar then to make his Everton debut. He's not got long to make an impact, but hopefully he can have something to say about these final 5 minutes. Get Ismail Assar involved. Oh, getting the ball past N'Golo Kante is quite a separate matter though. Vardy to Havertz. Chelsea looking to win it at the end. Out-muscled there, the defender, and now he's out of position. Vardy hasn't been able to damage us, thankfully. Here's Ismail Assar's first touch. And he's shaken off Aspi. I'm going to need to get this forward quickly, though. Andre Gomez, make the run, please. Richarlison will lift it to... Oh, what an interception from Yuri Bashis. That is going to be a 1-1 draw against Chelsea. Oh, Richarlison was in and away. Fine margins in games against tough opposition. 2 draws against Chelsea this year. Minimal chances in the game all told. Man United and Spurs both drop points. Liverpool drop points as well. The race for the title is really opened up entirely of late. And there were 5 teams going for it. Spurs, Wolves have fallen off a little bit for them. Manchester City, a point clear of Liverpool. 3 points further clear of Manchester United and Spurs. It's still a 4-way fight for the title. And we're getting ourselves in very much a fight of our own for that 5th Europa League spot. 3 points behind Wolves and Leicester. Chelsea just 3 points behind us as well. It's the top 4, then it's the next 4. As we mentioned, Arsenal have recovered up to 9th so far this season. They've done well to do so, but this transfer window then, how is it going to end? You can see Toni Kroos is the biggest deal so far. Houssem Aouar to Manchester City for 77.4 million. Thomas Partey from Atleti to Juventus for, nearest makes the difference, £50 million. Rudiger, Jorginho and Christensen are all leaving Chelsea this window. Oh, I didn't know Jean-Philippe Gbamin had a transfer release. Sevilla have triggered it, as have Bayern. I didn't know he had one. Thanks for seeing me, boss. Look, I'm sorry to be telling you, I don't see my future here. I'm just not happy being at the club anymore. We still need you, Jean-Philippe. Please, no. Please, no. I had no idea that you had a release clause. I'm going to have a look and see who else has a release clause. Nobody has one other than Jean-Philippe. Oh, my God. Please, no. I'm going to try and renegotiate a contract with him if I can, if he's open to it. Otherwise, we're about to lose a player that we are absolutely determined is going to be a main player for us for seasons to come. Please be open to a new contract, Jean-Philippe. He's on £53,000 a week. You could be an important player here. If you want crucial, I'll give you it. He's happy to have important. Oh, hang on. I didn't read that. Remaining contract, 3 years, 6 months. No contract extent. No, this is a new feature. He doesn't want a contract extension. That's fine. Happy to maintain the contract length. Disregard the release clause. That's new. That's new. New contract feature. He's wanting to basically renegotiate a wage, but doesn't want to renegotiate any longer time on his contract. Now, I'm going to have to offer him a decent whack here to try and keep him at the club, but it will be for the next 3.5 years. I'm going to offer him £80,000 a week and hope that that's enough to keep him at the club. I can't offer him a signing fee as well. Yes, Jean-Philippe Gbamin! He stays! He stays! A new contract feature that I didn't know was in the game. I like that. And also, actually... Oh, hi, boss. Good to see you. I just wanted to say it's great for my confidence to know you still value what I can bring to the team. Stay sharp. Absolutely. Oh, I'm delighted with that. And please see that there's a new feature in the game as well with regards to contracts. And another thing I was about to mention, got distracted. Remember when last year players had, like, less than a year left on their contract and you'd negotiate a year and it wouldn't actually add the year to it. It would only then leave them on 6 months, like Tarashai here, who obviously is out on loan at the minute. It now adds that year, not just with those that are running out of contract as well. If I renegotiated a contract with Branthwaite for 2 years, it would add those 2 years to his contract. So that would then become a 4-year, 6-month deal. It renegotiates an extension rather than just the whole contract. So I'm really pleased with that. That's great. It was one of the main frustrations with contract negotiation last year. Really pleased that they've added that and broken down. Yes, Jean-Philippe stays. Jean-Philippe stays. We'll see if there are any other big deals go on around the leagues between now and the end of the transfer window with 6 hours to go. Hopefully this is a bid for Yannick Bolasie. Please be a bid for Yannick Bolasie. It's a bid for Yannick Bolasie. Let's get ourselves another scout. Oh, it's all coming together at the end of the transfer window. Very nearly fell apart with Jean-Philippe Gbamin, but it is all coming together. Oh, but having had to spend the money on Jean-Philippe's contract, I'm now still not sure. Oh, they've broken down anyway. A Richarlison offer. Karim Bellarabi plus money for Richarlison. That's an absolute no, I'm afraid. Bellarabi is a capable player, but he's 30 and Richarlison is better and has more scope for growth. So, going nowhere. An offer for Allen from Sevilla of £38 million. No, also going nowhere. Although I do have to bear in mind he is 30. And his stats might drop slightly. He does have decent physical stats already. And with the amount of... They've come in... Who's this that have come in? Santos. No, Atletico Mineiro even. With a bid of 39.3 million pounds plus 20... Go away. Go away. I'm not even going to give that the light of day. 2 hours to go. Unfortunately, the Yannick Bolasie deal hasn't materialised. Contract terms broken down with Bayer. So... Let's have a look. Arsenal, Oriana in, Socrates and Mustafi out. Villa, Garcia, Nunez and Sanyang. Don't really know who any of those are. Mateta, Sandro and Stepanenko in at Brighton with his Kiro and Pascal Gross leaving. Crespo in at Burnley with Cork and Goodmanson on the way out. Rugani in at Chelsea, Rudiger, Jorginho and Christensen out as we saw. Waller or Vala in at Palace with Sacco and Scott Dan leaving. We've signed Godfrey and Ismail Assar. Walcott and Sandro have left. Fulham, Suarez and Fabregas back to the Premier League. Hello, Cesc. Zakia and Farinez in at Leeds with Barry Douglas leaving. Bardera, Paulinho and Marega, the striker, in at Leicester. Wow, Liverpool have spent nearly £200 million. David Alaba, Toni Kroos and Ruben Dias in at Liverpool with Wijnaldum and Joel Matip going out. I'm surprised they've sold Wijnaldum. I might have been interested in bringing him in. Houssem Aouar and Stefan de Vrij in at Manchester City as well. Fernandes and Romagnoli in at Manchester United with Brandon Williams leaving. Mustafi went to Newcastle with João Moutinho going to Newcastle too. Another Suarez in at Sheffield United. That was Luis Suarez, not that Luis Suarez. And Andre in at Sheffield United as well with Nord and Egan leaving. Southampton doing some cheap business coming in with Romeo Vestergaard. James Ward-Prowse leaving as well. Surprised to see that. Dagba and Williams in at Tottenham with Dele Alli leaving. I'm not sure where Dele Alli's gone. West Brom spending nothing and earning nothing, but still having players coming in and out. West Ham, Eggestein and Angulo in with Diop and Masuaku. Not sure whether that's Maximilian or Johannes Eggestein. Diop and Masuaku out at West Ham with James Ward-Prowse going to also staying in the UK. Iago Aspas in at striker as well with Bennett and João Moutinho leaving as we saw. I will show you what the biggest transfer dealings of that window were as we end the transfer window now. U-Squad monthly report, an offer for Andre Gomez from Tottenham, which I will reject. Gomez, not amazing, but certainly great squad depth. A great player for squad depth. The youth players, 80 to 86 now for Mads Pausen. Still looking like he's going to grow to be very, very capable. And Murat Aslan as well, hopefully, will continue to grow very nicely indeed as well. Right, let's show you then quickly what else went down in that transfer window. We'll sort by... Let's sort by date, actually. Let's sort by date. So, Ruben Dias to Liverpool for 55.7. Dele Alli went to Real Madrid for 49.8 on deadline day. Yassine Adli to Juventus. Moutinho was £15 million to Newcastle. A lot on deadline day, as you can see here. Jonathan David. No, not Jonathan David. That's a different David. That's the centre-back David. Getting myself carried away there. Saw J. David and jumped to conclusions without looking properly. Any other... Intrigued Huesca for Shane Long. Not the obvious destination for him. Cole Bartley is going to Southampton on a free. Pablo even Murray going on loan to Betis. A lot on deadline day. As you can see, Edin Dzeko going to Leipzig. This is all on deadline day. Stefan de Vrij was £41.3 million to City. Okay, well let's have a look at big deals then. So these were earlier on in the year. Luis Alberto on transfer deadline later to Real Madrid. So Toni Kroos, Houssem Aouar, 77.4. Ruben Dias. We saw Alex Sandro from Juventus to PSG for 51.1 on deadline day. Dele Alli deadline day. We saw Thomas Partey to Juventus. Let's have a look. Lima to Inter, as we mentioned, £45.8 million the fee there. Thomas Lemar to Inter as well. Some good acquisitions from Inter Milan in this window. Wijnaldum went to Barcelona for £44.2 million. Joaquin Correa going to Dortmund for 43.7. Ismail Assar was to me. De Vrij we saw. Anything else? Klosterman to Liverpool. Good signing for Liverpool that at centre-back. Really good signing. Romagnoli to Manchester United. We saw Alaba to Liverpool as well. The fee there was £40.3 million. Joel Matip went to Atleti. But to be fair, Joel Matip out and Klosterman in. Good business. Oscar to Juventus. Back to Europe for Oscar from China. At 29 years of age now. Dubois to Napoli. Beretta, £34 million. I don't know anything about him. From Mineiro. And Bashish, as we saw at Chelsea, £32.3 million was the bid there. That went through in September, but obviously Bashish only moved in the January. So that's where we'll end it today. Then if we had our next FA Cup game drawn, we have not yet. So as things stand, just a handful of episodes between now and the end of the season. But where will we finish this season? I hope 5th. I desperately hope 5th, and hopefully, as well, with an FA Cup final win. At least, getting there at least, but then a win on top of it would be absolutely superb. But we'll wait and see who we get drawn in the next round. But for now, I'm pleased enough with today's episode. A good new signing, keeping hold of one of our key players and removing his release clause that we didn't know was there. And also, getting some good points in the Premier League and still being within touch of Wolves and Leicester above us. Solid episode. We'll crack on again tomorrow. As ever, please, guys, do continue to drop the thumbs up on the videos. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. There are still a number of you that are watching every day that haven't subscribed. So do so, please. I'd appreciate it very much indeed. And I will see you tomorrow for the next one.